So, culture swap.
Swap my culture.
Liam, what non-depressing film did you pick for us?
I picked one of my all-time favourite movies, a little film called My Girl. This is a very Liam film.
It is, yeah. It's coming of age.
It's coming of age. But
Actually, though, to be fair...
I'm making a point.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, like, by picking this film, I'm making a point.
I thought you were in the middle of making a point, and I was like, oh.
No, so I meant by picking this film, I'm making a point, because we've discussed several times one of my issues with coming-of-age movies that I've been having lately.
Go on, remind me.
I seem to struggle with female-led coming-of-age movies.
Oh, yeah, you're, like, sort of sexist.
Like, yeah, like, they just don't work. Like, Lady Bird didn't really work with me. Edge of 17.
It's not even sexism. You just have this weird problem where you take the idea of being represented in a film to its extreme, where you have this real issue where, like, if there isn't a character that's, like, white and male, your brain's just like, well, I don't like this movie anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to connect to, like, especially in those two films, like, teenage, like, girls. Because I think both of the films, like, they get praised for providing, like, quite a well-rounded, like, character study. But part of it being well-rounded is it doesn't, like, shy away from some of the unlikable bits. And as soon as I'm, like, I hit that, like, oh, they've done something that's a bit unlikable, I really struggle to kind of get on board with them.
Okay.
I honestly, I can't fully explain it, but part of why I wanted to do My Girl is because it is a female-led coming-of-age movie that I fucking love.
Yeah.
So, is it sexism? I don't know.
No, I don't think it is actually sexism. I think you have I think it's like what I said. You have a real problem with,
like, relating,
connecting to some characters.
Yeah.
And then the fact that if you can't connect to a character, your brain does genuinely do a thing where it's like, I don't know if I like this film anymore.
Yeah. So, I've seen My Girl before. I knew what to expect. Were you, like, aware of it at all?
I think I've heard of it before.
Okay, so you knew it was, like, coming of age. Did you know anything else about it?
No.
Did you know that Macaulay Culkin was going to be in it?
Yeah, I think you did say to me last time, or possibly after we recorded.
Yeah. So, do you want to do, like, your sort of brief, like, a spoiler-free what you thought, and then we'll go into spoiler territory?
Do we do spoiler-free what I thought?
No, but I'm just curious.
Okay, fine. Why don't we just do the... Oh my god, you make everything so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good film.
There we go. Right, spoilers coming now.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen My Girl...
and you want to...
Yeah, it came out in, like, 1991. But we are going to talk about some pretty major plot events that have the potential of spoiling this film for you, you know.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it and you do want to go see it...
Yeah. Sort of like how we talked about some pretty major plot events in Barefoot Gen, which probably spoiled it for
Oh my
anyone,
god,
but
Liam, get over it.
I can't.
You can't spoil World War II. If I say Hitler killed himself, that's not a spoiler.
It might be for Inglourious Bastards.
Fuck you.
Thank you. So, My Girl. I love it. I don't even know how to be, like, objective about this movie.
Okay, well, I mean, so...
It's so good.
It's very good.
The
problem, Liam, that I had...
Oh, here we go.
Is that I was promised that we were going to have an episode where, like, we didn't deal with heavy subjects.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but we did 2 episodes. Barefoot Gen, and that one's about Hiroshima. And last episode I picked for my birthday, like, a trans issue sort of web series.
Yeah,
so, you know, the episode we dealt with, you know, me and Liam sort of working through what that means. So then we sort of agreed, hey, let's pick something that's not that. We can just have a nice, you know, we'll have one of our usual culture swaps, back to basics. I fall out with Liam. We have a little argument.
Yeah.
Try and throw some humour in there. Wrap it all up. Sorted. So what Liam did was he picked a film where a young child is stung to death by bees because of his other friend, who is already struggling with death because her mother died in childbirth, giving birth to her. Yeah. Her dad works as a funeral home director, so she's surrounded by death and is terrified of it. She then has to deal with the death of her friend, while her dad, who doesn't really understand what's going on with her, tries to, but can't really. She's also dealing with him marrying a new woman who, you know, is a lovely person, but the girl herself is struggling to come to terms with the fact that her dad is kind of replacing her mother, who's been dead for years, and who the girl didn't even remember, which is kind of sad in and of itself. So, you know, not the most easy watch I've ever had.
Did you cry?
Yeah. Like a lot.
Times?
A lot. I cried at the poem. I cried when the kid died. I cried when she was trying to deal with it. I cried when she ran into the funeral home and just like asked why they haven't let him wear his glasses because he's going to need them.
Yeah, that bit's brutal.
I think I even... Oh no, I didn't cry, but I was sad when she went to deal with the teacher because I was like, that's kind of adorable that she's got a crush on her teacher, but it's also heartbreaking because she's learning that he has a girlfriend at the worst possible time for her.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like one of the
I cried when she asked her dad if she killed her mum.
Yeah.
Because that's a horrible scene.
Yeah.
I cried when the kid got stung by the bees because he went to find the mood ring. I cried when his mum gave her the mood ring back.
Oh, yeah, that bit. And when the mum's just like, you don't come to visit us anymore.
No, she doesn't say that. That's not right.
What does she say? Oh, she says, can you come and visit us?
She says, even though he's dead, I hope you'll come to visit us.
That's it, yeah.
And Vader says, of course I will.
Yeah, which, you know, you can infer that Vader isn't coming to visit them so much anymore.
It's not what she said. Anyway.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought one of the most, like, beautiful moments was?
Go on.
When she's talking about marrying the teacher, and then she's cycling back. So we should probably chuck some character names in here, so I don't have to keep being like she and he. So the main
so it's Vader and
is
Thomas
Vader.
J.
Huh?
She's Vader.
Yep, she's Vader.
He's Thomas J.
Thomas J. They're cycling back, and she's just spoken about how she's going to marry the teacher and stuff. And then Thomas J is just like, would you consider me? And she's like, for what? He's like, well, if it doesn't work out with the teacher, would you consider marrying me? And she just sort of like, yeah, I guess. And it's just like,
she says it in such a way that is like, I think at that point she has not fallen in love with him because they're kids.
Yeah.
But she's definitely like, I think there's two different crushes she has in that film. There's like the childish crush for her teacher.
Yeah.
And then there's the actual crush for Thomas J.
Yeah, because that's after they've had their first kiss, isn't it?
Yeah, it's specifically them riding back from the first kiss.
Yeah.
Because she's like, don't say this to anyone, and he's like, no, you don't say it to anyone.
Yeah, that's another, like, that's a very sort of famous movie moment, that kiss, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing it. I don't know, it seems to be sort of like imprinted in my brain, but probably because I've watched this film when I was very young. And I've watched it quite consistently growing up.
Yeah.
It's just such a sweet, sweet movie. It really is.
It is very sweet. It just has a very sad ending.
There's
like, not the end.
Yeah, but like...
The third act of the film is very sad.
But see, I think another thing that I just love is period setting coming of age movies. Like, so this is set, like, came out in 1981 but set in 1972. Like Stand By Me is another one that I think came out in like the 80s but was set in like the 50s. So I like these coming of age movies where they're kind of set a couple of decades before they're released.
Yeah.
So Anna Chlumsky, who played Vader, this was her first ever acting role.
Oh, okay. She's good in it.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, like as we said earlier, I have issues with sort of kids in films, but she is just not remotely annoying in this.
Yeah. See, I don't think it isn't that you've got an issue with kids in films. I think it's that you've got an issue with certain types of like child characters in films.
Yeah, probably.
Again, Stand By Me, you don't have an issue with, and they're all kids. I think if the film is led by a child and is a coming of age rather than a kids movie,
yeah,
I think you're way less likely to. But I think you're probably annoyed by the characters that like some writer somewhere was just like, I think this is how kids act.
Yeah, like the perfect example is the little girl in Hook.
I've not seen Hook for years.
Oh, she has a bloody song as well, and it just, it's the worst. So when I say I have a problem with kids in film, like, think of that as a prime example.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, I don't know how to talk about it because I love it so much.
I mean, okay, so what specifically do you like about it, Liam? What's the like reason that this is one of your favourite films?
It's just such a sweet story.
Yeah. It is.
And like it deals with, like you said, like quite heavy, like mostly this idea of like death and coming to terms with death, but also like first love, and I think it is quite similar to Stand By Me in that like you've got that it's set in like a school summer. Yeah. And I don't know, I love the coming of age films where you have these like typically American sort of, you know, summers that just seem to stretch on forever.
Well, it's because they fucking do. Don't they have like a ridiculously long summer break?
I have no idea.
I think they do. I think we get 6 weeks and they get something ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. Macaulay Culkin is great in this.
Yeah, he's good.
I thought he was
I don't
great.
think he's at the pinnacle of his acting, but
What would you say was the pinnacle of his acting?
Home Alone.
Okay. So that came
I don't
out
know
a
if it
year
was. I
before
don't know if
this.
Macaulay Culkin has ever been like an amazing actor.
Have you seen The Page Master?
No, I haven't. To be fair,
Well, there we go then.
is he very good in that?
So good.
Okay. I think she far outclasses his acting ability in this film.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
But she is like one of the best child actors I've ever seen.
Yeah, so good. And I liked the like hypochondria stuff.
Yeah.
Because it very much is her. Like, it shows how aware she is of what's going on in her home, with it being like a funeral parlour, but how incapable she is of properly processing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just meant to be like her fear of death, right? But represented in an actual thing that she can go and try and deal. Like, she knows that a doctor can cure medical stuff.
Yeah.
So she's almost trying to deal with death by getting a professional to do it, but he can't because she's not actually ill.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she has that whole scene at the end, because there's the running thing of like, right at the beginning, she narrates that she got a chicken bone stuck in her throat when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And has never got it out. And then right at the end, she's like, that chicken bone finally went. And I was like, oh, the chicken bone represents your fear of death.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not subtle sometimes.
It's not, but it's fine.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah, no, that's not a negative against the film. It's
So Dan Aykroyd, who probably more familiar to people as one of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
He plays the dad, who is obviously like struggling, I think, sort of being like a single parent to a little girl.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to deal with his own daughter.
Yeah. And I just think their relationship is it's nicely done in a way where it's almost quite subtle.
Yeah.
Like they show that he's struggling, but they don't like beat you over the face with it.
Yeah. I think that's fair. There's an obvious divide between them.
Yeah.
But they don't constantly try and reinforce it.
Yeah,
it's just always there.
And then, so you got Jamie Lee Curtis enters the picture, who people might be more familiar with her as the leading lady in Halloween.
Yep.
She plays this like hippie.
Well, no, she's not a hippie.
She's sort of hippie-ish.
No, she isn't.
What is she?
I don't think you know what a hippie is.
She lives in a camper van.
She does, yeah, but she's like a professional makeup artist.
She's a bit free.
That's not what hippies do, Liam. Hippies aren't like, hey man, they'd save all the trees and also use expensive products that are used on animals for testing.
That's true.
She's not a hippie. She's just, she's free-spirited.
Yeah. Okay. So she comes along and gets a job working there and kind of develops feelings for Vader's dad.
Yeah, I liked the fact that their relationship between her and Vader was like strong at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then when she actually starts dating the dad, Vader can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So then becomes a little bitch.
Yeah.
She's like really mean to her.
She really is. Oh,
it's the bumper car scene where she's like bumping her, just specifically going for her every time, and you just watch as she slowly realises more and more that Vader is just hunting her down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I really liked as well the sort of how they dealt with like Vader becoming a woman, shall we say?
Going through puberty.
Yeah.
You can say getting a period, Liam.
Getting a period.
Yeah, that is a very when she says she's like, I'm hemorrhaging.
Yeah. And when like Thomas
oh.
J comes to play and she's like, don't come back for 5 to 7 days.
And just shoves him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
That is good.
There's just so much that I just love.
Yeah, no, it's a really good film.
Yeah. I like as well, like after their first kiss, when she's like, it's too quiet and they don't know what to say, so they just start like pledging allegiance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just so believable.
Yeah, it is a believable kid crush.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Thomas J dies.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and I think the other thing we need to talk about is the writing class that she joins.
Oh, yeah. Vader joins her teacher at school over the summer. The one that she's got a crush on. To make money over the summer is doing an adult's creative writing class.
Yeah.
So Vader steals money from what's her name? Shelley.
Yeah.
She steals money from Shelley to pay for it,
Yeah.
and then turns up at this class that is just full of adults. The first poem that she hears read there is about sex.
Yeah.
And then Vader reads a poem about ice cream.
Yeah.
But I like as well. I liked that teacher because like the character is like, even though I know that Vader shouldn't be here, whatever. He's like, I'm gonna teach her still, and not like treat her differently than anyone else.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you're not telling me what's inside you. You're just telling me a story.
Yeah, and I like another bit that I'm surprised it didn't make you cry is when she comes back to the writing class and they all like hug her and stuff, and like they make her feel really welcome.
Yeah, sorry, that the bit where she reads her poem at the end. Yeah, the bit I said I cried at.
Well, yeah, but there's the reading
I
part,
cried
and
at
her
that
just
bit,
walking into the class as well.
That's all one scene.
I don't know. The other bit that I think is great is they're trying this like thing in the class. They're doing like this class meditation type thing.
Oh yeah.
And one of the guys is like, "Feel my aura." She says, "I don't think I'm allowed to." It's just got like really nice little like funny moments like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's the sort of movie that it just makes you feel kind of like warm inside. Like there's like, even though it's dealing with all this sad stuff, like there's little character moments, like when Vader's dad stands up to Shelley's ex-husband.
Oh yeah, that bit is so good.
Yeah, and it's just like these little kind of like you can't help but just root for all of the characters.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on board. Like again, I really like this film. It's a good film.
Yeah.
It's just also sad, and you told me we weren't doing a sad film.
Well, I had to get you to watch it somehow, didn't I?
Well, yeah, but you could have just waited a week.
Well, we were struggling to come up with something.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did suggest Perks of Being a Wallflower as well, and I went, oh, maybe
You said
not.
that was worse in terms of sadness.
Yeah.
And heavy issues.
Yeah. So,
Listeners, we do need some recommendations. Can you send us some stuff that isn't sad? Well, trust us. We've run out of all the happy shit. We're doing sad stuff now. So can you just give us some happy suggestions that we can fit in?
That would actually be quite nice. Like, if we kind of give listeners direction on what we want them to suggest us.
Yeah. We'll cover the sad shit. I mean, for me at the moment, it's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie. I cried a little bit in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
At what bit?
Right at the beginning.
I don't remember what happens at the beginning.
I can't say without it being a spoiler, but right at the beginning.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I'll tell you later. It's fine. You don't need to know for that anecdote.
Yeah.
The point of it was I was emotional at the start of Ant-Man and the Wasp, so everything's making me cry, Liam. I'll walk you through the joke. So the joke was that I'm very sad at all these films, right?
Yeah.
So then to emphasise that point, I picked a film, Ant-Man and the Wasp, a film that isn't particularly sad.
Yeah.
And then I said to the listeners, I cried at the beginning, which is true. I did cry at the beginning. Just as a sort of emphasis.
Yeah.
To emphasise that point. You then don't need to go and
I sometimes get confused when you talk to the listeners and when you talk to me.
Well, it was also an anecdote for you, but again, you don't have to know which bit for that to work.
But I'm very inquisitive.
Okay, well, let's just move on.
What age do you think is the right age to show this film to someone?
I'd say, like, that age and up.
So, like, 11 onwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is the age where people are, kids are starting to get to the point where that shit becomes relevant.
Yeah. Are there, like, what sort of, beyond, like, the obvious, like, kid films, like, these sort of family-friendly type of movies, do you, like, another one that I remember watching as a kid growing up was Three Men and a Baby?
I don't think I ever saw that.
It was probably a bit before your time, to be honest. But what films do you kind of remember watching growing up that this sort of, like, tone?
I don't know if I watched films of this kind of tone.
Okay.
I was more into,
my
like...
mum used to make me watch these sort of things with her.
Yeah, see, I used to watch films with my dad.
Yeah.
And we were much more into, watching the entire James Bond franchise.
Yeah.
Films like Red Planet, Ghosts of Mars.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We just did any film that he saw in the blockbusters that looked good.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not in blockbusters. What did he have? Was it Apollo Films or something?
I don't know. We had like an independent local sort of video.
Yeah, I think Apollo was maybe not independent, but not blockbusters. It was, a small one.
I used to love going there as a kid. I really did. I remember like renting stuff like Dunstan Checks In.
See, I don't know if I ever went down. I think there was a couple of times, like if I was having a sleepover.
Yeah.
I could go down to. We had a Blockbusters near us that I could go down to and rent a film.
I don't know if I've told this story before.
What was that?
I don't know if I've told this story before, but this video shop. Once I was 14, and I had a girl over. I was trying to impress her, and obviously, like my family, like practically weekly, I think, went and got like a video on the weekend or something, and I'd
Yeah.
go and get myself one. So I was trying to impress this girl, and I took it out. I was like, oh yeah, the guy knows me. He'll let me rent a 15, which when you're 14 is like a big deal. And I
bet he didn't
remember,
let you.
yeah, I wanted to rent Pitch Black.
Good film.
Really good film. But he refused, so I had to go all the way back home. Now, bear in mind, this was like when I was 14, so I had to walk, like 20-minute walk, and then get my mum to go and rent it for us. And then I remember my mum, like, proper, like, fucking fucked me right over, because the guy was like, he's not 15, is he? And she was like, nah. I was like, you're meant to have my back.
I just love how much that backfired on you. You boasting to some girl that you could get a 15, and the guy just being like, no.
Yeah, no, he would not let me have it.
Had you rented 15s from there before?
Nah.
No, so why did you lie?
I was trying to impress this girl. Like that time I tried to impress a girl and got kicked by a horse. I should never try and impress girls.
No, yes. Luckily, you've got Kat now, and there's no way you can impress her.
Oh, God, no. That's.
I mean, you probably could. You could, like, dry yourself without calling for her, and she'd probably be like, oh, that's impressive.
So what, if I keep up this waxing, it might be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Anyway, Baby's Big Day Out.
Oh,
Look
I
Who's
think I've seen
Talking.
that.
Yeah, there's loads of these, like, I think, especially in, like, the early 90s, loads of these, like, you know, before you were born.
I was born in... What? I'm
you were like,
4
what,
years
90,
younger than you.
You were born in what, 90... Oh, 91 were you born?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I saw the 90s, mate. I was there.
Well, whatever. There was loads of these sort of movies that I remember renting and just, like, loving. I think My Girl's one of the few that would actually stand up, though. I think things like Dunstan Checks In, which is about, if I remember rightly...
Is he the monkey?
Yeah, he's the monkey, and it's a little girl that I think lives in, like, a hotel.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think they would stand up. This film isn't a kid's... Like, it's a film that a kid could watch.
Yeah,
but I think it easily works for any age, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's not made for kids.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad you recommended it, because I'm glad I've seen it, because it's a good film.
Good. I'm pleased. But yeah, so do we need to talk about death?
Do we?
I don't know.
What do you want to talk about? Well, you're scared of death,
Terrified.
so you're a bit like Vader.
Yeah, it baffles me how people aren't scared of it.
I'm not.
Like, I get there's this argument like, oh, it's inevitable, so what's the point of being scared? But just because something's inevitable doesn't mean it's not scary.
It's not even that. It's just that it's a natural part of life, and when I die, my body will get absorbed by nature, and I'll go back into the cycle of life. Not me, but the parts that made up me will. My brain functions will have stopped, and I will be dead.
So I genuinely think people that aren't scared of it, like yourself, just don't think about it enough.
I do think about it.
But, like, how deeply?
Pretty deeply, Liam.
Like, but how do you wrap your head around just the thought of you no longer...
Everything stopping. Yeah.
Well, not everything stopping. That's the thing. It's everything carrying on, but you stopping.
No. But I mean, everything stopping for you.
Yeah, but that's not the bit that's to me is the worst, I think.
What?
Like,
what bit? Wait, you're scared of what happens? You're scared of what happens to everything else after you die?
Yeah, because everything else will just continue like normal, which
Yeah.
just means that everything that you are and that you've done is just so pointless. I mean, unless you're like actually doing something worthwhile with your life.
No,
which
no,
I'm
not even that. Liam, when you die, right?
Yeah.
You will live on in terms of like memories and shit through Kat, me, your other friends, people like
What
Dan.
if you're all dead first?
I'm not dying before you, mate.
We don't know that.
No, I'm gonna murder you if I feel like I'm dying.
Oh, okay then.
You're coming with me.
I don't like the sound of that.
No, but even then, like, if one of your friends had kids, they would probably remember you.
I stopped being friends with them.
Even things like all the minor shit that you've done, right? The place you work at,
Yeah.
right? There are things you've done there that will have an impact in whatever way. Everything you've done has impacted. It's more stupid and not a deep thought to think that you aren't impacting everything.
Yeah, but it's okay impacting it if you can like be around. But I don't know.
No, but that's the wrong. That's not the way you should be looking at it, because that's a stupid way of looking at it.
Look, I don't like it. All right, I don't like the thought of.
Yeah, well, how
not
dare you try
being
and tell me that I'm not thinking deep enough? You're thinking so shallowly. You're literally thinking, well, if I can't experience this stuff, how is it fair? Why should I? Like, what's the point? That's just pathetic and shallow.
No, it's honestly, it's so terrifying. The thought of like,
It's not.
it is the thought of literally just you not even realizing that it's all done. Like,
I mean, I'm probably going to realise it's all done because I've got a feeling that I'll be on a deathbed and be like, oh God, I'm about to go into nothingness.
why do you think that?
What? If I'm dying? What?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. What are you going to be thinking when you die?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to die. It could be a car crash.
Yeah, but even then, you will have like, unless you're shot through the head
Could be.
from behind,
Could be.
then there's going to be a moment where you're
What
like,
if you
I'm
die in
dying.
your
Even
sleep?
then, there's supposedly like these, like, you know, you get a moment of a flash where you're like, oh fuck, this is it, as things shut down.
What if you die in your sleep?
That's fine. It's even better.
I don't know. Just it's something about it that I just can't wrap my head around.
I
'Cause it's
get
just
why
too
you're.
scary.
I get why you're afraid of it. I just wish when you spoke about it, you didn't try and make the people who aren't afraid like me sound like idiots.
But it's because to me you are.
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't think you're an idiot for being scared of death. I think it's silly to be scared of it, but I don't think you're an idiot.
I think our listeners should weigh in. Are you scared of death?
I think it's probably going to be about 50-50,
Probably.
would be my guess.
Do you think, like, when you get older, do you think you'll find religion or something? Because it seems like a lot of people do when they get older.
No.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I was talking to Kat about this the other day, actually, and I was saying, like, imagine, right? Just imagine if there is a God, okay, and you die and you go and meet him. Like, how does that conversation go? Where you're like, so, childhood cancer, what was going through your mind when you came up with that? Like, how does a God justify some of the shit that goes on?
Well, I mean, if you're getting into this, right, the actual thing is that even by most religion standards, unless you're like a hardcore religious person, you don't believe that. Like, I think a lot of religious people don't think that God is planning every single step.
But
I think
why
that
not?
the
Is he
hardcore
not just
do.
like stepping in?
So child, like, I think most religious people would say that God made the world,
Yeah,
he put life on it,
yeah.
and now life is running its course, and God has tried to give them like these instructions they can follow to be good people. I don't think he specifically has gone, cool, a bunch of you are going to die from these horrible things. I think that's just the way the world works. That's the rules that were made.
I don't know. I think it's because, like, when
Also,
these
that's
sort of...
don't have that conversation with God. That's such a boring thing to do. I'm going to get up there, and if God's real, I'm going to go, hey, douchebag, am I getting into heaven? And if he goes, no, I'll go, what, just because I didn't believe in you? And then he'll go, no, it's because of all the weird porn stuff you did. And I'll go, oh, you actually were watching. Pretty wild, isn't it? And he'll be like, yeah, man, you've seen some crazy shit. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to hell, but it's cool.
Okay.
Is that where you keep the hentai tentacle beasts? And he'll be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
There'd just be like a button that he pushes, and it's just like a trap door opens up below you.
And then tentacles appear. And he's like, God, you're enjoying this too much. I've fucked up.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think, though, the reason why I get confused is like when bad things happen and people are like, oh, well, this is just God, like, testing us.
It's because it's a way for people to deal with it.
But it's such a shit way, isn't it?
Not if you are religious. I can see the appeal.
I don't know. I see the appeal of believing in God when you're nearly dead and you're like, shit, I want there to be an afterlife.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Liam, if you do that, that doesn't work.
Well, we don't know that.
No, I mean that doesn't. That's according to religion. That doesn't work. If you just confess right at the end, then God's going to go no.
That's my plan.
Sorry to burst your bubble. If that was your plan.
Yeah, damn it. I don't know. I can't remember why me and Kat were talking about this, but we talk about a lot of shit.
Why are we talking about death?
Because this movie deals with it a lot.
What did you give this movie out of 5?
When was the first time in your life you encountered death?
I don't know.
Okay.
My next door neighbour died.
What age were you?
Very young.
Okay, specific.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was very young. She used to give me biscuits across the fence with my parents' permission.
Oh, that's nice. What biscuits were
she
they?
was lovely. Nana Lil.
What biscuits were they?
Pink wafers were my
Oh,
favourite.
they were good
I think
ones.
she used to have a selection, but she always had pink wafers, and they're the best ones.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I sort of like, not to the extreme of Vader, but was like brought up aware of death because, like, my granddad, my mum's dad, died when she was 14.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of like, to some extent, aware. But I think like the first time I was really impacted by it was probably like when my nan died because she used to live with us.
Yeah.
And I was like 18, 19, and I'm the one that found her, which was a bit... Yeah, that was difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
No. But that was like the first time where it was like someone that really impacted me. Before that, when I was at school, someone I was friends with in secondary school, their mum was already dead, and then we were like all 14 and his dad died as well.
Oh, that's also not nice.
No, and we like went to the funeral to like support him, and he was just like either handling it really well or not well at all. And I'm
I can
inclined to
imagine he
believe
was
the
probably
latter.
in horrendous shock.
Yeah, like because he was like carrying the coffin in with his like older brother and some other like family members. Saw us all like standing there, and just like waved at us.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's not appropriate, is it?
I mean, I had well, not a friend. There was a girl in my school that, in between us all moving up from year 6 to year 7, died of an asthma attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we all found out when we went back to school. Because a lot of my school went to the same high school. So, like, there was this sort of network of kids that went to my primary school. And one of them just sort of, one day after school, or on the way out of school, was like, hey, I don't know if you guys heard, but she died.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, that was.
It was something that this film made me think about was, like, the teachers. Like, I can't imagine what it must be like for a teacher kind of seeing, like, a child, like, 5 days a week, and then that child no longer being around, and kind of just, like, that must be hard.
Yeah, I thought the scene in this where he's talking to Vader, after that, is a really sweet scene, where he's, like, on his way to the funeral, but then he's, like, clearly Vader needs someone to talk to her.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet.
It's just, it's such a good film. What would you give it out of 5?
Probably a 4.
Okay.
You?
5 out of 5.
I thought so.
Yeah. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for it as well, so, like I said, I can't be objective about this movie.
No, that's fair.
It's the sort of movie that I've just grown up with, so...
Yeah, I mean, this is very... Like, if we were to buy into the bullshit, these are Liam's films, these are Ellie's films.
Yeah.
This is very much a Liam film.
Yes, definitely.
I just happen to also like it.
Yeah. Because there is some crossover.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a Venn diagram.
I mean, there's more crossover on my part, where I'm like, I like quite a lot of films. It's just Mumblecore that I've not... And even then, I've seen 2 Mumblecore films and liked one of them, so...
Which
I'm
one
50-50
like?
on Mumblecore. Your sister.
Yeah, that's barely Mumblecore, though, isn't
it? Yeah. But anyway, whereas your side is very much like, here's a list of things that Ellie has liked that Liam has hated.
There's some stuff that you like that I like.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I like more of your stuff than you like of my stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's because, and you're going to disagree with this, so listeners, you can probably skip ahead a couple of minutes. It's because I'm
so tempted to hang up on you just to annoy you.
I pick things more carefully.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
So you'll be like, oh, well, I like
Because that's what I was talking about, Liam. I was saying the things I picked.
Yeah, exactly.
No, see, what I was actually saying, Liam, was there are more things that are from your... Like, things like Nameless, which we both picked. To be honest.
That was your pick. That was not a
Neither of us had read it before.
I thought you had. Because you sent me a screenshot from it.
Oh, maybe I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your pick. My point still stands. What are we doing next time?
I don't think it does. Wait.
What are we doing
You
next time?
didn't pick My Girl carefully because you thought I'd like it. You just picked one of your favourite films.
That I thought you'd like.
I don't know. I think you could have... I think you have played that card enough that...
No, like, I thought you'd like
There is no way you are 2 years into this podcast and you are still picking things that you're like... Or is it, Liam? I mean, or it could be that you are picking stuff that I like and you just know that I like a lot of shit. Because I do.
Yeah, but like, I could...
I was thinking about this. If people tallied up our ratings on this show, just in total, I think I have given out a lot more 4 out of 5s than anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I can sit... There are a lot of things that I'm like, this is a good thing that I like.
Well...
Whereas you're more likely to not like... I'm not saying it is a bad thing, you're just more critical of stuff.
Yeah, you have a simpler mind that's easier to please.
Yeah, sure, right. What are we doing next time, Liam?
So, long-time listeners might remember we did a comic called Sunstone, a graphic novel.
Yeah, which we both loved.
Yes, that was a my pick.
Oh my god, it's not a fucking contest.
But if it was.
This is a my pick.
Yeah.
I'm claiming it. You sent me the picture, I said we should do it, so this is a my pick.
Let's hope it's good then, eh?
I hope so. If it's really shit, I'm going to be really annoyed.
Yeah, so a graphic novel came out that I saw in my local comic book shop recently called Swing. And I saw the cover and was like, fuck, that's a very similar cover to Sunstone. And picked it up, looked at the back. It's written by the wife of the guy that created Sunstone, and it is set in the Sunstone universe, but it's about different characters, and from what I can gather, a different form of expressing love.
Yeah, it looks like this one's about swinging. Sunstone was about BDSM.
Exactly. So yeah, we did like consider, should we do this on a housekeeping? But then we thought, nah, fuck it, culture swap.
Yeah, we're eagerly awaiting the next Sunstone project. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't, but it's about the dude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alan?
It's I can't remember his name. Yeah, it's like her good friend.
Yeah, I think it's Alan.
That is definitely getting culture swapped. But while we're waiting, we both like Sunstone so much.
Don't you mean definitely getting housekeeping?
What?
Don't you mean it's definitely getting housekeeping?
No, it's getting culture swapped.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, obviously.
Why is it obvious?
Because we loved Sunstone so much, and this is the first book in the next part of that, so we should do it as a culture swap.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I thought we had agreed that. Maybe we hadn't.
No, I don't think we had.
Fair enough. Well, we are definitely culture swapping it. I think we should.
You know, I collect these like proper naughty comics.
Yes.
I was reading one the other day, and I've discovered something amazing in it.
Go on. Oh, so, listeners, in case you don't know, Sunstone and Swing look like they're the kind of... They're a bit sexy.
But they're not utter filth.
They're not written for the... If you go back and listen to the episode we spoke about Sunstone, the story in these books is
it's on YouTube.
Yeah, so there you go. You can go look at it on YouTube.
Actually, it's not yet, but it will be.
Oh. It might be on YouTube when you hear this. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's like we speak about that and how the books are like very much about the story.
Yeah.
And the sex feels minor and is usually part of the story anyway.
Yes.
Liam also reads naughty comics, which are very much...
just utter filth.
Yes.
Utter filth. And this story is going to prove that. So I was just flicking through it before I started properly reading it. And was like, oh, this panel and this panel are very similar. And I looked and I was like, oh, maybe they're doing that thing where like it's the same part of the story but from two different perspectives. And then I looked, and no, what this comic has done is it's got the exact same story in it twice, but the second version of it is what they've called a beautified version, and it is exactly the same as the first one, except all the clothes are gone.
What?
Yeah. No, like dialogue's all the same. There's still like women battling giant snakes and all sorts of stuff going on.
They're just naked.
They're just completely naked.
It just sounds shit. I don't know why you read it.
It's fascinating.
I can show you some stuff, Liam.
I don't think we should, but what I might do is sit down and try and read like 6 of them or something, like as if it was its own little volume of a like trade paperback. And if I think you would like it, maybe I'll lend it to you and we'll do it for like a culture swap or something.
Okay.
Because like
we're
I think
probably due a Liam and Ellie get sexy episode.
Yeah, that one is our most popular YouTube video now.
We've got 2, haven't we? We've got Liam and Ellie get sexy, and then back then it was called something else. But then we've also got Liam and Ellie get sexy part 2, I think.
Oh, and I think it's Get Sexier.
Oh, that's it, Get Sexier. So then we can do the trilogy. We can just every now and again we'll throw in a Get Sexy episode.
Yeah, I think we should. I think our listeners like that. I think there's certain like recurring tropes that our listeners tune in for, which are my wiping problems.
Yep.
Us getting sexy.
Yep.
And this is a genuine question that anyone listening, I would like feedback on. Do you like it when we argue, or do you find listening to 2 people argue stressful and you don't like it? Yeah,
that's a good point. I think recently we've toned down the arguing a lot.
We have. And like, listener, don't, put a lot of weight into your answer. Like, we're not going to change the way we do this just because you don't like it when we bicker.
Yes.
But I'm just curious.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know.
Yeah. So when I say listeners, please get in touch. Amanda, let us know.
Amanda, let us know. Tom, maybe.
Yeah, Tom. Tom listens, doesn't he?
Yeah. Anyone
else that could... Kat doesn't listen.
No, so there you go. Jason and Lee, maybe?
Yeah, let us know. I think they enjoyed the arguing.
That's true.
But I wonder if some people maybe stopped listening to us because of how much we argued.
Probably.
Don't give a fuck. Bye.
No. Bye.